Greetings, everyone, and welcome. June the 24th, 2026, and today is all about chain reactions. Over the last 3 or 4 days, so much news coming out of Crimea, additionally inside Russia and Belarus with these Ukrainian strikes. But the reality is now, truly, the dominoes are beginning to fall as Ukraine continues with the relentless maximum pressure strategy. Crimea truly is becoming crippled. Moscow's oil refinery system, with that large strike a few days ago, is much worse than was first thought. Russia's now begging Kazakhstan for gas. And Belarus, they have bowed the knee up to this point. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing, liking, commenting, and subscribing. We appreciate each and every one of you. I want to begin first by just updating you quickly on Crimea. It is nonstop. Every night, multiple, between 200 and 350 drones are launched from Ukraine, either towards the Moscow region, the Voronezh region, or down towards Crimea. I can tell you, Crimea is now in big trouble. Over the last 24 hours, we've had 2 S-400 air defense units taken out, 1 Panzer S-1 unit taken out, plus 2 military bases have been struck, including Saki and Gvardisky. And if you look at the map, in general, these are some of the key locations that Ukraine has been striking over the last 48 hours, in addition to energy infrastructure, fuel, thermal power plants, and you can see it is maximum pressure right now on Crimea with good results for Ukraine. You know, as I was preparing today, I was thinking maybe people do not even realize the size of Crimea. Well, I wanted to make sure we understood. It's not tiny. From west to east, approximately 200 miles at the widest, or 325 kilometers. From north to south, approximately 125 miles, or 200 kilometers. It is a large peninsula, and it will take time, but systematically it is becoming in worse shape every day. Now, we need to jump over to Moscow. This refinery, and that's one of the actual best images. That is a true photo right there taken out of a window showing the actual damage of that huge Moscow refinery that's responsible for a large portion of automobile fuel refinement there in Moscow. And I remind you, ladies and gentlemen, Moscow is a huge city. Huge. And it requires a lot of fuel and infrastructure. So we have seen the results. We saw the hat flip up. In fact, I'm going to show you that again because I found the hat. I know where everybody thought it was leaning up against the fence, but I actually found it. But Reuters coming out today confirming what Ukraine was already saying with their sources. I was waiting for more confirmation. This refinery is in big trouble. It will not even be possible to be back online at full capacity until 2027. So that is crippled for at least the next 6 months, and that is if Ukraine doesn't strike it again. So this is what we're looking at for Moscow, and it is a big problem. You cannot deny it. But as I told you, I do want to show you that strike again. And if you stay to the end of this, I located the cap, the hat. I found it. You'll see what I'm talking about here. So once again, this is the refinery we're talking about. That classic clip right there that will forever remain viral in history. So this is the location. But ladies and gentlemen, I did work hard. There it is. I found the hat. Yes. I don't know where it's at, but somebody's got it and walking around an island somewhere, giving them good shade. So yeah, a little smile for you there. I just couldn't help it because it's worthy of that. But ladies and gentlemen, as I told you, it's a chain reaction. We have a long-term problem now. Russia seeking gasoline. One of their big allies is Kazakhstan. And Russia has. Reuters reporting, multiple others reporting. They're requesting gasoline imports to be increased from Kazakhstan into Russia to ease sources, specifically of that 92 octane. They're looking to import 50,000 tons, not gallons, not liters, tons of fuel. That is massive. I can tell you right now on the map that I will show you, there are currently 53 regions in Russia with fuel restrictions. Here is the map. And thanks to the work, the security service, the military, the armed forces of Ukraine, Russian gas production fell by 25% year over year. When we compare June 15th to June 21st, it's massive drop, 25%. We now have confirmed 53 regions with fuel restrictions. Now, the other big story we've been following is Belarus. President Zelenskyy has been on the countdown. He started a couple of days ago. You have 7 days. Take these transmitters down, or we will do it for you. The map right there showing you Ukraine, Belarus, little yellow circle there is where these transmitters are located along the Ukrainian border. And we can confirm that they have ceased operations. The confirmation comes from President Zelenskyy himself. So operation status is ceased. But are they dismantled and removed? That is unknown. So it will continue to be watched. And I imagine if those relays, signal towers, transmit even one signal, in 4 days from now, they will be eliminated because Zelenskyy is not playing with this. And if you've noticed over the last few days, there has been less, or there have been fewer Shaheeds flying, coming in from that direction, north of Kyiv, heading over to Zhytomyr and to the Volyn region and Rivne. It's working. Now, do not take that to say that Russia has no more Shaheeds. There is a massive strike coming. And I really don't know what they're calculating for, but it is imminent. And we will keep you updated on that. But for right now, we listen to President Zelenskyy, and this is him on a recorded phone conversation report. Based on the information that I've been briefed by the Commander-in-Chief, on the 22nd of June, the relevant repeaters have stopped working in Belarus. Now, whether they were dismantled or not, honestly, I do not know yet. But we are working on it, and I'm monitoring this very closely, getting daily updates. The fact is, the repeaters are not working today. So there you have it. That is the fact. He says the repeaters are not working today. And I got so many comments in from you guys, so kind. Greg, your background image you're using is beautiful, but Crimea was left off. Please make sure you get that colored. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you see right there, just like I promised you in the comments, Crimea is Ukraine. And by the way, all of that is the 1991 borders. That's where this is going to end up. It is. It's going to take time. This is not ending tomorrow, nor next week, nor next month. But Ukraine is fighting for their future. Full stop. All right, let's go now. We give all this information, we give all this news. Of course, Moscow is going to respond. Medvedev going absolutely bonkers today at a statement, at a conference. Of course, Lavrov was there, Peskov was there. I'm not even going to play Medvedev. He was just in la-la land. Yet, there were some key statements that we at least need to pay attention to, because we learn by listening to what these liars are saying. So their message line today, Lavrov and Peskov, their task to be hard line. Peskov claimed that the situation for Kyiv on the front is worsening day by day and says that soon the situation will soon become irreversible. So Russia is playing this card right now that says we are letting the world rejoice on all these drone strikes on our infrastructure, crippling us, damaging our economy. We're allowing that to be a smokescreen because on the front lines, we're moving forward like crazy. That's the narrative they're using right now, 100%. I don't think it's working too well for them, but that's the story they're sticking with right now. Now, Lavrov, I am going to play a couple of clips. The foreign minister of Russia, Russia says it will no longer trust anyone on their word in negotiations about Ukraine. Lavrov says Russia will not stop at the front line as a condition for starting negotiations. And Lavrov said, if you're putting your hope in Trump to support Ukraine for the long term, that is wishful thinking. Now, on that one, he may be telling the truth. We'll see. We'll see. But I want to play you these clips. I want to start first with Lavrov here. And on this clip, he's talking about trust. Don't take it from me. Don't read it from any social media source. Let's just hear it. We are not going to trust anyone just on their word only, because they keep telling us, let's do a ceasefire, get in full communication, and then we'll negotiate. No, we've already been down that road. Okay, so there it is. We're not going to trust anybody, nobody. We've already been down that road. Now, you're wondering what he said about Trump? Well, remember, Trump and Zelenskyy met at the G7, and then it appears, Ukraine getting really strong with attacks and bold with attacks, and everybody is assuming that Trump gave the green light for everything. Lavrov, he speaks about that. It was either today or yesterday. There is a media outlet in Kyiv called the Kyiv Pravda, and they stated that after the meeting in the G7 with Zelenskyy and Trump, that Trump gave the green light to intensify sanctions against Russia and to escalate other forms of pressure against us militarily on our territory, including deep strikes. It's an anonymous source. I don't think this reflects reality. Rather, it's trying to pass off wishful thinking as reality. So there you have it. I told you, he says, if you're going to bank on Trump, I think that's wishful thinking there for the Kyiv Pravda. Time will tell. We will see. But that was his statement. Now, the final statement I'm going to give you from Lavrov, it's going to kind of be like the guy walking around that found the hat. I have no idea what he's trying to make an analogy with. He's talking about World Cup, but in context, he was talking about we will not negotiate where the front lines are now. That is no longer an option. But he tries to use a story about the World Cup that is happening and being offsides. You can hear the clip, but I will tell you what he was saying in context, because it was multiple minutes long, but this is like, I don't know what he's saying here. The ball right now is not on our side of the field, even though they're trying more and more to pass it to us from an offside position. If we're talking in the language of, World Cup stuff today, it's not going to fly. So he says the ball's not on our side. It's on their side. Let me interpret. We laid forth that this is how the war should end. Ukraine should fully capitulate. They're working at us from an offside position, thinking they're in this place of strength because right now they are smashing us. But it's not the real story. That's what he's talking about, using the World Cup. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's where we're at right now. We'll keep our eyes on everything else. I can tell you that right now there is a new threat coming in for ballistic launches on Ukraine from the south, from Crimea. But right now, it's only the initial alerts. And yes, they just launched. So mid-afternoon, Russia is firing ballistics this afternoon, Eastern Standard, evening time there in Ukraine. We'll keep you posted. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing, liking, commenting, and subscribing. You guys be blessed.